Okay, it's been a little while, but I finally have the air conditioning done, and I've told a bunch of people that I would post an update video. So this video is just going to be specifically on the air conditioning for the swap. So as you can see, the factory dryer is back here. I had a company run new lines. They moved the dryer accumulator, whatever you want to call it, right here, and it's bolted to the inner fender there. Still have my low pressure switch in the factory location. There's your high pressure port. And then the lines run, so let's see, this line runs here. It runs around the power distribution center. There's your low pressure port, and then it runs into your condenser. And then I also have the high pressure switch. It's hard to see, but the high pressure switch is down there. So the line comes out of the condenser into the compressor, and then from the compressor to the dryer, from the dryer into the cab. So in terms of wiring, it's not very complicated, but I did get hung up. So this is the 4.0 wiring diagram. And basically what happens is when you turn your AC selector on in the cab, it connects, it sends a ground signal up through the harness. It pops out of this C103 as a light green wire. So what I did was I ran the light green wire to my high pressure switch, and that switch connects to your low pressure switch. And then the trick was this dark blue orange wire goes up into C104, and C104 goes into C3. Then it comes out of C3 and goes into your relay. Well, I had trouble with this part. So what I did was I took the C3 connector, which I'll show you, it's your gray connector. So pins 1 and 22 are both dark blue and orange. So I spliced those together. So it bypasses the PCM altogether. And then everything continues to function as normal. It goes into your relay, which you don't even have to mess with. This is what it is. But basically it comes out of C103 as a dark blue black wire. That is what you splice into to give the Novak harness 12 volts. So when you turn on your AC selector switch, all this does is it goes up here through here, and it ends up coming out as a 12 volt signal here. That goes into your Novak or your whatever, your LS harness, to give it 12 volts. That's important because it turns on your fan, which is pulling air through your condenser. So you have to have that 12 volt switch going into your condenser. And then the way Novak's harness works is you plug this in, you splice this into their connector that gives it 12 volts, and then it sends out a 12 volt signal, and that's what you run to your compressor. So the wiring is kind of a rat's nest there, and if anybody wants to see a specific wiring up here, I can show you, but if you just learn how to read these wiring diagrams, which they're intimidating at first, but once you start tracing the wires through your harness, it's actually pretty simple. So that's the update. It works in the cab just like factory. Turn it on, turn the compressor on, and have cold AC. It's essential for Texas heat. So that's it. The install here was $650 for these new lines, which I think was worth it. I don't think I would have been able to come up with these lines and crimps and dryer placement, and certainly you could, but I feel much more comfortable having the shop do it and me just doing the wiring. So that's the update on the air conditioning. I've got about 100 other things I'm planning to do on this Jeep. I'll do another video with that plan, but that's it so far. Let me know if you have any questions.